Good afternoon, scholars, and welcome back to the Restricted Collection, a podcast about tabletop games. Today we're going to try the Marie Lambeau Evergreen deck. I got a copy of it at the Miskatonic Masquerade party, and I was the one I was most excited about, so I really wanted to sit down and play it. Now, I thought it'd be kind of fun to play Curse of the Rougarou, because it was the first standalone, and Marie does have some thematic ties to New Orleans and the Bayou. So I've got Curse of the Rougarou set up. I randomly removed the unhallowed locations and randomly started with the wilderness locations. Terror grips New Orleans. Minnie Klein, your contact at the Arkham Advertiser, has slipped you a draft of the article over a cup of coffee at Velma's Diner. It would have gone to print had Doyle Jeffries, the lead editor, not scoffed at the concept. I believe his exact words were, "I ain't printing the ravings of some voodoo lunatic and passing it off as news," she explains. From the sly grin spreading across her face, you can tell she smelled a story. The headline was sensationalist. 3 killings in 9 days was enough to spook a town, sure, but you doubt all of New Orleans is gripped by terror or even knows about the killings. Still, something piqued your interest. Lady Esprit, the voodoo priestess from the article, claimed that a malign curse has taken root in the bayou. There's something to this, isn't there? I know that look, Minnie said. You weren't sure if Lady Esprit was right that this Rougarou wouldn't stop killing at 3. That's for sure. But curses, wolf people, how could such things be real? Only one way to find out. You put your coat on and head for the North Side Station. Man, I haven't played this in a while, and I forgot how awful the bag is. I am of the opinion that -5s and -6s have no business in a standard bag, and yet here they are. It's a very interesting bag. 2 positives, 2 +1s, 3 zeros, 3 -1s. Did I get 3 -1s? -1, -1. I missed a -1. Like, at the end of the day, the bag's not terrible. It's just got so many tokens in it. And it's just such a varied bag. So we'll see. Yeah, like a bag like this doesn't really exist anymore. But here it is. Agenda 1A, a creature of the bayou. After arriving in New Orleans, the next day you start your investigation by asking the locals what they know about the recent killings. As you suspected, most know very little of the incidents. You do manage to find several eyewitnesses who give similar descriptions of the creature. Its lithe, muscular form, lanky arms, and wolf-like visage. A promising start, but if there isn't any truth to the rumors about this curse, you'll have to talk to Lady Esprit herself. 5 doom to advance. Finding Lady Esprit. According to your contact, Lady Esprit is a voodoo priestess who lives deep within the bayou. Most tend to stay clear of her lonely shack. After all, the bayou can be a dangerous place, even were it not for the recent rash of savage killings. Only investigators at a bayou location may spend the requisite number of clues as a group to advance, which is 1 per investigator. We begin at the Forgotten Marsh. It is wilderness and bayou traded. You warily eye the web of vines and blackened bog waters before you, and your heart sinks. You long for the comforts of home, and yet you press onward. 2 shroud, 0 clues on the front side. Forced when you leave this location, lose 2 resources. Great, love that one to start. The other 2 wilderness locations are the same on the back. After hours of navigating through impenetrable fog and overgrowth, your clothes stick to your skin and you swat at what seems like the thousandth, wow, I just cannot pronounce it at the moment, mosquito. I'm playing as new Marie Lambeau, the entertainer. 4 will, 4 intellect, 1 strength, 3 agility. Performer and witch traded. After damage is placed on her, draw 2 cards and discard 1 of them, limit once per phase. Elder Sign effect +0. If you succeed, heal 1 damage. I've got one hell of a showstopper in store for you tonight, and that she is 8 health and 7 sanity. I took the I only used cards from the Marie Lambeau deck, and I upgraded. I think I gave myself like 18 experience. Initial opening hand. I'll read the cards out since they're so new. I got Grandmare's Charm. It's her signature. 2 cost, commits for 2 will and a wild. Item, Charm, Occult, Blessed. Her deck only. Can soak for 3 damage. Fast, take a direct damage and exhaust this to replenish 1 charge on an asset you control. Neat. Cosmic Flame. So 3 cost asset, commits for a strength. Uses 3 charges. It's a spell. Action, fight, using will. If you succeed, you can spend a charge to deal +1 damage. If you reveal a skull token during this test, remove a charge from Cosmic Flame. If you cannot, take a damage and discard this card. Spiritual Charm. Choose a non-lead enemy at your location or connecting location. Move that enemy to your location, engage it, and gain resources equal to its combined damage and horror values. Neat. Mirror Form, it's a 1-cost event. Fast, play only during your turn. Choose a spell or charm asset in your hand and put it into play under your control. When the round ends, shuffle that asset into your deck if it is still in play. And lastly, the Favor of Bal Shandor. Ritual event. As additional cost to play this, take a damage. Play a spell or ritual asset from your hand, reducing its cost by 3. Playing this card does not provoke attacks of opportunity. I generally like this hand. I think I'm going to ditch the Spiritual Charm, which got me an Infuse Life. 4 cost, commits for a wild spell event. Heal 3 damage from among investigators and or ally assets at your location. So let's begin. There are no clues here, but as soon as I leave here, I'm going to lose $2. So let's spend $5 to get Cosmic Flame and Grandmare's Charm. You have 3 charges on you. Okay. And then I'll leave because I don't have any money to lose. That feels nice. To Wilderness number 1, the Twisted Underbrush. I'm still going to use the Boon of Hermes for True Solo. Chapter 2 has not yet proven to me that I don't need a little bit of a help, and then this is also so old, and the bag is so varied that I don't mind just a little bit of a boost. Twisted Underbrush. 3 Shroud, 1 per investigator clues. As an action, gain 2 resources and take a horror. The region is covered in twisted plants that grow odd-looking berries. They look absolutely delicious. I can investigate at 1 up. -5. Okay, yep. All right. Victory 1 at this location before I forget. Resource and a card. I got the Dread Curse of Azathoth. Good to know. I threw that in there because I'm like, I've got some extra XP that I can put in. I might as well put the Dread Curse of, why wouldn't you put the Dread Curse of Azathoth? I got a Bog Gator. 2 health, 2 fight, 2 evade, preys on lowest agility. There's just me. While it is at a bayou location, it gets +2 fight and +2 evade. They were apex predators even before the curse took hold. I'm going to fight with the Cosmic Flame. 2 up. -2. Great. I will spend a charge to deal +1. It was a -2, so not a skull. So you're dead. I am going to fast take a direct damage. Take a direct damage to replenish a charge. I'm also going to draw 2 cards, and I will discard 1 of them. I got a Favor of Bal Shandor and a Spiritual Charm. Let's go ahead and I'll discard the second Favor. I don't think I need both. All right. I'm going to investigate at 1 up. -4. I'm going to investigate at 1 up. Skull, -2. Okay. I'll Hermes over to the other location, which is the Trapper's Cabin. While you're at Trapper's Cabin, you cannot gain resources. Okay. Action, spend 5 resources and test book 3 to convince the old trapper to sell you his last bear trap. If you succeed, take control of the set-aside bear trap. Okay. I do not gain any resources. I instead just draw a card, and it's upgraded Jim Culver. That's great. I don't have any money. Advance doomed 2 of 5, and we draw a spectral mist attached to a bayou location, so it'll attach to the Forgotten March. Limit 1 per location. Each skill test performed at the attached location gets +1 difficulty. Test book 2 to disrupt the source of the mist. If you succeed, discard it. Great. I just really need this clue, please. So let's move back to the Twisted Underbrush. I'll take another direct damage to draw 2 cards. I don't have anything to replenish. Take direct damage. Oh yeah, I'm just doing it as part of the cost. I've got a Sacrificial Doll and another Infuse Life. I'll discard the Infuse. Well, I really don't. I have none of my money sources right now. Let's sacrifice. Let's discard the second Infuse Life. So I've got 3 actions to hopefully get a clue. -3. -1. Thank goodness. Get a clue. And then I can go back to the Forgotten Marsh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards in hand. Go back to the Forgotten Marsh. And I can advance. I'll choose to advance at the end of next round. Or sorry, at the start of next round. Don't need to do things right now. I do get a resource and a card there. That is a Blood Curse. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards in. So Blood Curse, Spiritual Charm, Favor of Balshandor, Mirror Form, Dread Curse of Azathoth, Sacrificial Doll, Infuse Life, and Jim Culver. 2 resources. I really wish I had an offering pole right now. And we move to 3 of 5 Doom, and we draw Ripples on the Surface. Test Will 3. For each point you fail by, take a horror. If you are at a bayou location, you cannot commit cards to this test. Okay. I'm even because each skill test here gets +1 difficulty. -1. For each point you fail by, take a horror. I take a horror. Oh, and I dropped my little Lego piece. There it is. 1 horror. Not the worst, but I'm getting a little annoyed by this bag. I'm going to spend my 1 clue to advance. Finding Lady Espree's shack is no simple endeavor, but eventually you spot the decrepit shanty through the mist. Lady Espree greets you as you enter. Not at all surprised by your intrusion, she claims that the Rougarou was once a man, cursed by being known as Shub Nigoroth, into the form of a great wolf. She believes that she can lift the Rougarou's curse from the bayou, but only if the creature is destroyed. Put the set-aside Lady Espree asset into play at a bayou location, so with me. 4 cost, but that doesn't matter. Ally Sorcerer, action exhaust her and deal her a horror to heal 2 damage or gain 2 resource. And the investigator at her location may activate this ability. Put the Rougarou enemy to play at any non-bayou location. Let's put you at the Twisted Underbrush. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck and shuffle in the Curse of the Rougarou encounter set. The investigator reads the following out loud. As you leave Lady Espree's shack, a terrible sickness courses through you, and you drop to your knees. The investigator puts the set-aside Curse of the Rougarou weakness into play in his or her threat area. Revelation put into my threat area. At the end of my turn, if I have not dealt any damage this turn, take 1 horror. That's going to be a problem. All right. The Rougarou, Curse Soul, 5 per investigator health, 3 fight, 3 evade. Monster, creature, elite, or aloof, retaliate at additional cost for investigator to engage the Rougarou. The investigators must spend 1 clue as a group. If after the Rougarou takes 1 or more damage during a single phase, 1 per investigator damage during a single phase, find the location farthest from all investigators, move the Rougarou 1 location at a time until it enters that location. Did I forget to put the other locations into play? I forgot to put the other locations into play. So we have Brackish Waters, which is the Riverside set. And then we have the Cursed Shores, which is the New Orleans traded set. All of the bayou locations connect to each other, and each one makes a little triangle of locations. So, move on to Act 2A, Hunting the Rougarou. The Rougarou is somewhere within the vast bayou. You must track it down and destroy it, lest the beast's curse consume you as well. Forced, after the Rougarou leaves the location, place a clue from the token bank on that location. Objective, we have to destroy the beast. If the Rougarou is defeated, R2. Objective, maybe there's another way. While an investigator is engaged with the Rougarou, he or she may choose to advance limit once per phase. I will choose to put the Rougarou, now that there are more locations, it will be further away at the Riverside, which connects to Brackish Waters. Okay. I'm going to commit Blood Curse to get rid of this Spectral Mist. That puts me at 8 to 3. Automatic failure. Okay, game. What did I do to you? What did I do to you, game? I'm going to try 1-up. Elder Sign. Okay. +0. I succeed. I heal a damage. Happy to do so and get rid of this stupid thing. So I've spent 2 real actions. I don't really want to leave here because I'll lose money when I leave here. So I'm going to gain $1 and just forfeit my move action for the moment. Resource and a card. Hemophobia. And then my turn I took a horror. Great. 4 of 5 doom. And we draw another Spectral Mist, which attaches to a bayou location. We're just going to attach it to mine. Why not? I'm spending 4 and getting Jim Culver down. Gets me +1 will, and after I take damage and or horror, I can exhaust him to draw a card and gain a resource. That sounds wonderful. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards in hand. Let's move to Brackish Waters. The reeking odor of dead fish overwhelms your senses. You can't help but hold your breath as you wade through the repugnant shallows. 1 shroud, 0 clues. While you are at this location, you cannot play assets. Action, discard 2 assets from your hand and test Agility 3 to wade through the dark waters and retrieve an abandoned fishing net. If you succeed, take control of the set-aside fishing net. Discard 2 assets from my hand and test Agility, which is not a... I'm even on that. That's not great. I am going to get rid of Hemophobia, though, because that's just going to be bad news for me. Unfortunately, this does mean that I take another horror, but thankfully I can put that on Jim Culver. Horror. Because I didn't do any damage this turn, so I can draw a card and gain a resource. Drew another Jim Culver. He's worth 2 will. That's not terrible. Upkeep, gain a resource and a card. Second Sight. I would not mind that. And we advance 5 doom. A violent storm rolls as your search continues. Black rain clouds conquered the sky, the air thick with humidity. You recall all of the recent killings took place late at night under the cover of dark clouds. A shiver runs up your spine. You cannot help but wonder, what if you are next? Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. Basically just means that one spectral mist. If the Rougarou is in play, find a non-bayou location with the fewest clues on it, and move the Rougarou one location at a time until it enters that location. Do I want to move it? I mean, I could keep it with me. I could keep it with me. Or I could spawn it. I'm going to keep it nearish me. I'm going to just move it. Find a non-bayou location with the fewest clues on it. Done. And when it leaves a location, it drops a clue. Great. So I just moved it one location to keep it near me because it's just easier right now. 6, 7, 8. Great. Agenda 2A, the Rougarou feeds. All around you, the bayou feasts. Flesh rips and jaws snap just beyond the trees, and light droplets of rain ripple on the surface of the water. You can't tell exactly where the sounds are coming from. Perhaps it's the dreadful ambiance of the bayou itself. Fun. And my bad thing is a bog gator, which gets +2 fight and +2 evade because it's with me. Don't love that. Well, at least I'm going to probably do damage this round. Let's play... Well, no, that helps me with other things more efficiently. That helps me with other things more efficiently. So let's go ahead and spend 1 and play Mirror Form to put the Dread Curse of Azathoth. Oh, then it shuffles it back into my deck, which I don't really want. I could put a Charm down, which my Sacrificial Doll counts for. Okay, not spending 1. What are my odds of hitting you right now? I'm even with Cosmic Flame. I don't love being even with Cosmic Flame. I've got a bunch of will in hand, though, so I could commit Jim Culver, for example, to be 2 up. That's not terrible. 2 up, and I'll commit the Sacrificial Doll as well to be 3 up. Zero. Great. I will spend 1 and kill you. Spend 1 charge off the Cosmic Flame since I succeeded to do an additional damage. I did not reveal a skull, so I don't have to take a charge off. Great. Great. I am then going to get Second Sight down. It has 3 charges. But it lets me investigate with will. Oh, actually, no, I was 1 up already with... I've got Jim in play. I was already 1 up, so... Doesn't really change what I was doing, but I might not have committed so much, but whatever. Second Sight lets me investigate with will. Love that, but I played that using the Favor of Balshan Door. I take a damage, putting me at 2 damage, which lets me draw 2 cards and then discard 1. Shadow Meld and Offering Bowl. I will, out of my whole hand, I will discard the Shadow Meld and keep the Offering Bowl. So I've taken 2 real actions. Well, hold up. Let me run some math. I mean, it's the same odds either way, but I just don't have any... I need more assets. Let's go ahead and move to Riverside. Even at this late hour, bells and shouts sound across the piers as dock workers go about their business. Audubon Park, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, 1 per investigator clues, has a second clue because the Rougarou left 1. 3 Shroud, currently 2 clues. Forced, when you evade an enemy at this location, discard a random card from your hand. Leaves flutter in the cold wind, breaking with the stillness of the park. With the area strangely abandoned, you feel as though you do not belong here. Okay, so second sight, investigate with will. If you succeed, you may spend a charge to discover an additional clue at your location. If you reveal a cultist token during this test, remove 1 charge from second sight. Fine, I'm 2 up naturally. Oh, and I exhaust Jim Culver to gain a resource and a card when I dealt damage to myself, which got me Cosmic Guidance. I'll commit Cosmic Guidance to this to be 3 up, and if I succeed, heal a horror. And by horror, I mean damage. 3 up. -2 with a skull, -4 instead if you're at a bayou location. I'm not at a bayou location. I will spend a clue to get both, spend a charge to get both of these clues. So I shot the gator, played second sight, moved, and investigated. Great. And the damage from Bolshendor is just take a damage. Doesn't have to be me, but I put it on me so I could draw cards. But I could have also taken the direct damage with Grandmare's Charm. It's fine, I'll figure it out. I'm still learning these cards. Resource and a card puts me at 3 resources, and ooh, a Bloodstone. Item, Charm, Curse, you get +1 will, and it can soak for 2 damage. 1 of 6 Doom. There is a 3rd agenda. Good to know. And we draw. My least favorite. It's a slime-covered Dole. Spawn at any non-bayou location. Preys on lowest remaining health, which will always be me. Hunter. When it enters a location, each investigator at that location takes a horror. I'm going to spawn you at the Twisted Underbrush, because I don't want to deal with you for a hot minute. Okay. So I need 4 per invest. I've played this before. What do I need? 4 per. Without looking at it, I'm like, without looking at the backside of the act, I need 4 per investigator clues, 2 per investigator damage, a trap, and 1 of the items, right? If each of the following requirements is met, we need 4 per investigator clues. It must have a trap attached to it. It has at least 1 per investigator damage. That's not so bad. And we must calm it down. So we must either have found a binding stone or a strange doll. I'm going to try to do this the hard way, but I make no promises. Choose non-lead enemy at my location or connecting location. Funny, I could use that with the slime-covered Dole to make some money. Probably not. Well, hold up. The slime-covered Dole spawns at any non-bayou location, so I could just spawn it with me. That way, I would enter a location, so I would take a horror, which I can put on Jim. But then I could just kill it, which I don't hate. When I put the horror on Jim, I would draw a card and gain a resource, which got called to Guinea, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Curse Pact, put into play in my threat area. You cannot heal damage. Choose and discard 3 cards from your hand to get rid of this. Okay, not what I wanted, but fine. If I Cosmic Flame you... if I Cosmic Flame you, I'm 3 up. -1. I'll leave that as is. Cosmic Flame. Cultist -2. If the Rougarou is at your location, reveal another token. I do not. I will spend another charge to kill this slime-covered Dole. So I spent 2 of 4 actions. I'm going to spend a 3rd action getting rid of Called to Guinea, which I will get rid of Mist Form, Offering Bowl, and Spiritual Charm. That hurt. But it's fine. I don't take a horror. Resource, sand a card. New Offering Bowl. 2 of 6 Doom, and my encounter card is Ripples on the Surface, Test Will 3. If I'm at for each point you fail by take a horror, if I'm at a Bayou location, I cannot commit anything to this. I don't want to fail this, so I'm going to commit Offering Bowl to this to be 3 up. Tablet, -3. If you fail, until the end of the round, you cannot move. +1. Great, did not fail. It really changes your math with the bag being such a varied gulf of numbers. Okay, that really hurt my hand to lose all those cards. But it's fine. It's fine. It's mostly fine. I need to get a trap, which is either spending 5 resources and passing an intellect test that I'm only 1 up on. I still don't know where I'm going to get the other thing. So let's go to the Rougarou's location. He's aloof, so it's fine. The Faubourg Marigny, apologies for the pronunciation. While you are at this location, reduce the cost of each asset you play by 1, and it's a location where we can resign. Okay. Sure, I'll spend 1 and get this Bloodstone. So I moved. I played this Bloodstone, which puts me to 6 will. So let's go back to Brackish Waters. Let's go over to Cursed Shores. Black storm clouds loom above you, watching patiently as you trudge through the bayou. Their shapes twist and churn in the night sky, blotting out the stars. 1 shroud, 0 clues. Action, take a damage. You get +2 to your next skill test, to your skill value for the next skill test you make this turn. And when you leave Cursed Shores, choose and discard a skill card from your hand. I do not currently have any skill cards. I will take a horror, unfortunately, onto myself, which will exhaust Jim to get me a resource and a card, which got me a spiritual charm. And then I will resource in a card, which gets me a consume life. 3-cost event, spell, fight using your will. This attack deals +1 damage. If it defeats an enemy, heal a damage from an investigator or ally at your location. It is not damage that is going to kill me. 3 of 6 Doom, and we find a Spectral Mist, which I will attach to my location. Why not? I need clues. Maybe I should have punted the Rougarou. Let's move to a New Orleans location. It's late, but the city's nightlife is still in full swing. Jazz clubs and speakeasies rule the night, but your interests lie elsewhere. Broadmoor, 3 shroud, 1 per investigator clues. Action, resign. We can't catch the beast. You make your way to safety, letting the beast roam free. People are just now beginning to settle what began as an untamed marsh. Truth is, some evils run too deep to exercise that easily. I'll investigate. 3 up. Skull -2. So I was using Second Sight, which cares about cultist tokens, so I don't need to spend anything. I can just get a clue off of this. So I moved to the Garden District to test Agility 7 to break into the nearby greenhouse and take a look around. If you succeed, remember that you have found a strange doll. A trail of blood and mangled flesh led you here. You suspect this is no ordinary garden. How am I going to make an Agility 7 check? I guess I need another... Oh, but it makes me discard... Yeah, it makes me discard stuff skill cards when I leave. So I moved, clued, moved. I'm going to move back to the Cursed Shores. I'm going to take a horror onto me, putting me at 4 of 6, which will get me a resource and a card. Lethal Curiosity, test will 4. For each point you fail by, you must either take a damage or place 1 of my clues on my location. It's actually difficulty 5 because of Spectral Mist, so I'm 1 up. +1. Great. That's gone. And then actual resource in the card. I'm at 9 resources. So maybe I go for the intellect test for the scrap? Maybe. I could be doing more damage to myself to get more cards. Let's be honest. We are at 4 of 6, and I draw ripples on the surface. I can't commit anything to this, but I am 3 out. -2 for Cultist. If the Rougarou is at your location, reveal another token. It is not. And actually was a difficulty 4 because of the Spectral Mist here. I still passed. Goodness gracious. Do I just kill the Rougarou? Maybe I just kill the Rougarou. Because I unfortunately don't have the place where I can use Will. Where is it? Yeah, from the Foul Swamp. Test Will 7. I can... It at least gives me a way to, like, try to get more stuff out of it. So yeah, we're going to go 1, 2. And then I'm going to spend an action engage in the Rougarou, which will cost me a clue. And then we are going to attack it. I know, so one of those was a Hermes move. So I am 6 to 3, which is pretty good. -1, that's a success. I will spend 1 off of Cosmic Flame to do 2 damage to the Rougarou. This will cause him to leave, which is fine. And then I will hurt myself with Grandmare's Charm, putting me at 3 of 8 health to get me another resource and another card using Jim's ability, which got me a Blood Ward. Oh, that's lovely. Blood Ward, 1 cost, 2 XP event, costs 1. It's a spell, fast play when a non-elite enemy attacks an investigator at your location. Cancel that attack and heal 2 damage from the targeted investigator. Yeah, it's not damage that's going to kill me. I will also replenish a charge on Cosmic Flame when I do that. So at the end of the phase, you're going to leave to the furthest location, which is really anywhere I want you to go. I'm going to throw you over to the Trapper's Cabin because, honestly, I don't want to lose... I don't want to go deal with the other thing. So drop those clues. All right. Then actual resource sand, a card is a Cosmic Guidance. Yeah, it's not damage that's going to kill me here. 5 of 6 Doom, and we draw a Dragged Under. Test Agility 3 if you fail, add it to your threat area. When you leave your current location, take 2 damage and discard Dragged Under. That's fine, I don't care. Tablet, reveal another token. 0. I pass. So I can go 1, 2, 3 to get to you. That's not terrible. And then, so I could go, I mean, I could play the Dread Curse of Azathoth for 1, replacing the Cosmic Flame, because I don't really care about Doom right now. So I put the Dread Curse of Azathoth down. Action, place a Doom on Dread Curse of Azathoth. Fight with Will. You get +2 Will and deal +1 damage for this attack. If this defeats an enemy, remove 1 Doom from Dread Curse of Azathoth. If a Skull or Elder Thing token is revealed during this test, remove all Doom. Sure. And then I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3. So it cost me 1 to play it, and I lose 2 resources when I leave the thing, but I'm now with the Rougarou, where I can theoretically just go to town on it next round. I will exhaust Grandmare's Charm to replenish Second Sight. That deal me damage directly. I will draw 2 cards, which gets me another Bloodstone or a Mirror Form. I'm going to get rid of the Bloodstone and keep them... Well, I mean, I can get rid of anything. I'm going to get rid of the Bloodstone because it only commits for a will, whereas the Mirror... Again, I could get rid of something else, but I like the icon variety that I have. I take a Horror, putting me at 5 of 7, unfortunately. This exhausts Jim, which gets me a resource and a card, and then I will get a resource and a card during... oh my goodness, Jim Culver. Gets me another Blood Ward and gets me a Shadow Meld. How many cards do I have in my hand? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards in hand. Let's get rid of the Shadow Meld because I don't need it. Oh no, you're going to move. Right? Because I'm about to advance Doom and you're going to move, aren't you? Yeah, you're going to move. So I should have stayed more centrally. Oh well, I made my mistake. Rougarou is going to move to the... Find a non-bayou location with the fewest clues. Oh, I can just move it one space. That's fine. And then whenever it leaves a location... Yep, so we plop a clue here. That's fine. If the Rougarou's not in play, Did all of that. Agenda 3A, the curse spreads. Tendrils of slime ooze from the bogs, crawling over trees' roots and grasping at you as you pass. The air hangs heavy with a noxious heat. You feel as though you are sinking deep into the bayou, sinking beneath the heaviness of the black sky and the rank mist. At the end of the round, if the Rougarou is not engaged with an investigator, add 1 doom to this agenda. My goal is that the Rougarou is dead by the end of this round. I don't like killing the Rougarou as my option, but find a non-bayou location with the fewest clues on it. Move the Rougarou 1 location at a time until it enters that location. Well, that's not what I wanted. You can go to the Garden District. 1, 2, 3. And then it surges. Let me get clues down real quick. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is getting out of hand faster than I can deal with it. Another on the prowl. You can go to Broadmoor, which is just 1 location away from where you were. And then we have a Beast of the Bayou. The Rougarou makes an immediate attack against each investigator at its location, its connecting location. If no attacks are made by this effect, add a doom. Okay, yeah, you need to die very soon. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. And... when I leave that location, lose 2 resources. 1, 2. When I leave that location, discard a skill. Great. I can't tank 2 horror. So I'm not engaging you, because that's a stupid idea. I just don't... this deck... okay, now that I've played it, and also I know Rougarou is high on horror if you can't deal with it. But yeah, this deck needs... to do this again, I want some better horror heal. To be fair, I did take out Arcane Initiate for Jim Culver. I mean, they both soak for 3 horror, or at least 2 horror. Yeah, I don't love it. For my last action, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I've seen all my weaknesses. I'm running out of deck. I'll just get a card, and then resource and a card. And then we add a doom, because at the end of the investigation phase, there is no... there isn't an investigator engaged with him. Drew a blood curse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards in hand, 10 resources. I got money. I don't have other things. Swamp Leech spawns at any bayou location. Great, you can go with Lady Esprit. We're not going that way for a hot minute. Cool, I'm going to engage you, spend a clue, and engage you. I get 2 attacks. I need both of them to hit. So I'm going to commit Blood Curse to this. And I'm going to use Dread Curse of Azathoth and be 8, 12 to 3. -1, that's 2 damage. Forced after the Rougarou takes during a single phase. Does it leave now? Or does it leave After it takes during a, I think it has to check during a phase. Okay. And I put a damage on the Dread Curse of Azathoth. And I take a direct damage because of the card. It's direct damage, right? Take a direct damage. And so I gain a resource and a card from from Jim. Jim's doing work. Let's do this again. So I'm at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to 3. I don't need to be that high up. I only need to be 9 to 3 because the worst thing in the bag is a -6. Let's go again. Let's go again. -4. I remove 1 doom and you're dead. R2. Not how I wanted to do this, but I needed to not die. The creature gives a pitiful wail as dark, mirry blood oozes from its wound. By the time its body collapses into the mud, is transformed back into its original form, the form of a young, dark-skinned man, his expression twisted in agony. You bring his body back to Lady Esprit, and she works her strange magic, removing the stain of the curse from the land. Call me, should you ever need my help, the mysterious woman tells you. So the Rougarou is destroyed and the curse is lifted. So we remove the curse of the Rougarou weakness from my deck, and I get Lady Esprit, which is not bad at all. And then I earn Victory X, which is 1 because every other location got covered up. Okay. Overall initial impressions, I like the deck. I like a lot of what this deck is doing. There are definitely cards that are less my style than other cards, but I was at no point ever afraid of dying. Having effectively an extra upkeep phase because of upgraded Jim Culver is stupidly good. And there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, as long as you don't mind managing your health, I really like Marie and a lot of her new little tricks. I like a lot of her cards, honestly. As I said, she was the one I was the most excited for, but we'll see. I'm glad to at least have tried it with the deck, and it's more or less like intended. Like, oh yeah, I put some XP in it to modify it as I felt it needed. But nice to try it before I dismantle it into the collection. So I hope this was fun and interesting. I'm planning on doing this with at least Andre as well, but we'll see what happens. Thanks for listening.